Hello, we are Secret Agent Agency, uh, and we are here ready to cram pills and wash it down with the water from the Star of Darkness. Joining me is Andrew. Have you taken your sleeping pills?
No, no
All
sleepy
right,
pills for me.
so let me start up the bleep bloop
Oh boy,
machine.
it's gonna take a while. Load up your
Oh
floppy.
no! I have a save state. We're good.
That's
Let
not
me.
accurate with the actual device.
Okay. It's not showing up. There. Okay. So Boop. Okay. Apparently this is where we left off. Turning it down my headphones a little bit. Oh, I don't know if I'm ready for this, but we're gonna do it. Alright. David and Susanna visited the Biblioteca Nacional Central de Roman, but once again they were unable to find any conclusive evidence. They were told that a library in Piazza Navana owned a microfilm with unusual emblems, but it didn't contain the same crest they were looking for. David and Susanna decided to take a short break near the Trevi Fountain. I can't believe we couldn't find anything after searching this long. Oh well. Since it happened in my dreams, maybe I need to look it up in my dreams too. God.
You gotta go a level deeper.
Can you give me a couple of coins? I want to make a wish in the Trevi Fountain. Susanna approached the Trevi Fountain, turned around and tossed the coins backwards. So what should we do now? I don't think visiting random libraries is gonna work. Well, since we're already out and about, we might as well go for a little stroll. Oh, hold on, I should call the hotel. Susanna left to go look for a payphone. Clark followed after her, unnoticed by David. Susanna came back. The guys aren't back yet. Why don't we grab a bite somewhere? Gosh, I was so focused on the search I forgot all about eating. Do you know any good place, Susanna? Gosh. David and Susanna walked around Rome like a pair of lovers, tailed by the two detectives. Once they reached Via de Triton, they hailed a cab. Oh, not this shit again.
Yes!
They took another cab. We left our car at the Trevi Fountain, though. Should we go get it? This is you!
Yep. No, we lose them. Stop a cab.
As luck would have it, there was a cab ready to go. They got in and followed the car with David and Susanna. Clark spoke.
Vince, tell him to follow that cab.
Whew, we almost lost them. Man, cars in Rome sure drive fast. Makes for a fun ride, though.
Susanna made 2 phone calls. She's probably going to meet someone else at some point.
The car took a left towards Piazza de Spagna. My guess is they stopped looking for libraries and they're just going to have fun.
First call must have been to the hotel. But what about the other one? You're a drug supplier? Happy
Yep,
drugs.
they're getting off in Piazza di Spagna. Look at Susanna, she's skipping like a child, her skirt aflutter. I feel so pathetic tailing a couple.
Get a grip, Vince. This is work. Let's get going.
Clark and Vince got off the taxi and kept following David and Susanna. Hold on, I thought they were going to Piazza di Spagna, but they just entered Via Condati.
You want to be a good detective. You can't stop at first glances. My guess? They're going to grab a bite.
Via Condati is a major tourist route. There's a bit of everything nearby, from jewelry to Gucci stores, as well as restaurants and pubs. Susanna stopped in front of a restaurant. Since we can eat Italian food at the hotel, why don't we try Japanese cuisine instead? This is hamase. I heard good things about it. Hold on, we're in fucking Rome, and even though I guess we
Head
can
up to McDonald's.
Japanese cuisine, eh? I've only had things like tempura and sushi. I'd really like to try sukiyaki and ochazuke.
What?
Okay, let's go in. I have never heard of ochazuke, and
Well, he has.
Yeah.
He's just not as cool as him.
That doesn't seem like a very layman's Japanese meal. David and Susanna entered the restaurant. There were many Japanese customers inside the restaurant. Each individual table was enclosed in its own box, so Clark and Vince were able to sit next to David and Susanna and listen to their conversation without having to worry about being seen. David was talking to Susanna while they both ate from their sukiyaki saucepan.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is delicious. It's been so long since I last had sukiyaki, and this soy soup goes perfectly with the meat. Is this like the isekai trope where
yes.
oh man, we're trying Japanese cuisine for the first time. Oh, it's so amazing.
What is this amazing food? I've never seen such a thing before. Well, let me share with you the food of my people.
What are these noodles? I thought they were tofu, but they're different. Crispier. They've absorbed the soup, so they're almost better than the meat. That's a kind of diet food called... Okay, I thought this was cognac at first. It can't be. Konjac. You...
Watch my calories.
You should eat the meat and build up your stamina. I'll eat the cognac and watch my calories. The two of them were very impressed by the quality of the onigiri and the sukiyaki, which they happily devoured. Unbelievable. Had to get detailed descriptions of Japanese food in here somewhere.
Yes.
From the nearby table, Clark and Vince were keeping an eye.
I can't wait to hear them remark on the Japanese cuisine.
Chief, the sushi's good, but the sukiyaki looks divine. Oh man, that soup smells, huh? Chief, the customer that just came in is walking towards Susanna.
Who's this guy?
A middle-aged man greeted Susanna.
It's gonna be the fortune teller?
I mean, we have a dead fortune teller already amongst our body count.
Right.
David, this is Mr. Demir from Demir Music. He's taking care of our performances in Italy. I'm sorry, Magic the Gathering has taught me you can't trust anybody named Mr. Demir.
Very trustworthy color combo.
Yeah. I'm Demir. Pleased to meet you. I came to meet a colleague from a Japanese music firm, and I happened to notice the two of you. It's nice to finally meet you in person, Mr. David. Meh. He's got kind of a meh face.
Is David named David? Mr. David.
David-san. Please take a seat with us, Mr. Demir. Rome must be a bit smaller than I thought. I never guessed I'd find you here. Are you visiting Piazza di Spagna? Yes, though our main reason for being here is to find out more about a certain crest. A crest, you say? Collecting photos and drawings of coats of arms is actually a hobby of mine. No way.
Wow.
What kind of a crest would that be? Unfucking-believable. David unfolded the cloth and revealed the crest. This is it. We've been hitting all the libraries we could find, but we couldn't find this specific crest in any reference book. I have to admit, this is the first time I've seen such a magnificent crest. Where'd you find it? Would you mind parting with it? I'd like to find out which family it belongs first. Once I do, I'll gladly let you have it. You know, a long time ago, the British used to consult a fortune teller. No!
Oh,
when
yes!
looking for someone or something in Rome. The fortune tellers here are particularly accurate, you see. I can't believe this.
We're gonna be knocking on so many fortune tellers' doors.
Not again. A fortune teller, huh? If you're considering it, I can introduce you to a good place I know. Here. Talking to a fortune teller seems interesting. How about it, David? It might be fun. It's in the alley next to the nightclub, Paradise. There should be a sign that says Nuzel. It's pretty well known in the area, so if you ask people around, they should be able to point you in the right direction. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Demir. We'll go there as soon as we finish eating. Once you find out what you need, please contact me. I'd really like to have this crest. Unfucking believable. David and Susanna left the restaurant, tailed by Clark and Vince. Seriously, a fortune teller? You'd think they'd try asking a detective first.
Hey, let's turn around. Detective. At a glance, there's nothing suspicious about this Demir, but think about it. He just happened to come to that restaurant. He just happened to know a lot about crests. That's way too convenient. Problem is, we can't follow them inside the fortune teller's shop, can we? Oh, disguise time.
They probably do strip shows and nightclubs in Rome. Maybe we should take a seat inside, grab something to bite, and enjoy the show. It's part of the Italian experience.
Damn, dude. He's living it up. The neon sign reads, Paradise. They're going into that alley. Now cut the crap and keep your eyes open.
David and Susanna entered the alley, looking for Nuzzle's shop.
Nuzzle?
Look, man, you got opinions, you can voice them. It sure is dark in this alley. It's a perfect place for a mugging. Great. Let's mug somebody, Susanna.
Oh, we're back to the beginning of the game.
Yeah. Oh, what if we're in a time loop, like much like Final Fantasy 1, and we are the muggers that we contended with earlier?
Well, you gotta retain the loop. You gotta do it.
Yeah. This should be the place, but I don't see any signs that say Nuzzle. Real fortune teller shops wouldn't have a big sign. They get their customers mostly through word of mouth. It is said that having too many customers lowers the energies. They don't do that if they don't think they need it, though.
I have so much mana.
I wonder how many people come here looking for it but give up because they can't find it. It'll be fine. Fortune tellers have powers, you know. They know when someone is looking for them, and they'll put a sign of some kind to help them find the place. They don't do that if they don't think they need it, though. You're pretty knowledgeable about this. There it is. It says Nuzzle on the wall. Let's go inside, David. David looked at the letters on the wall. The inscription was the size of a business card. Impressed by Susanna's eyesight, he followed her through the door she opened. The fortune teller's house was wrapped in black curtains. It was so dimly lit that David and Susanna were forced to walk carefully so as not to stumble. The voice of a man came from the back. "Open the curtain." David did as told and peered inside. The room beyond was also shrouded in black curtains. A single lit candle on the table provided a small source of light. There were no signs of the owner of the voice. "Approach the table." David and Susanna approached the table, as told.
It's like, don't ignore the man behind the curtain kind of scenario here.
"Ah, well met. I am Michael, the fortune teller." The candle flickered at Michael's words. It was as if the voice came from the candle itself. "It seems you've been looking for someone." How did he know? He didn't say anything yet. "I am no mere fortune teller. I am a real sorcerer, wielder of dark magics."
Uh-oh.
At the mention of dark magics, David wondered if he wasn't in another one of his dreams. "David, what should we do? I'm scared." "There is nothing to be afraid of. Simply tell me the age and the name of the person you're looking for. If you brought any of their belongings, leave them on the table." David spread the cloth with the crest on the table and spoke up. "I want to find the owner of this coat of arms embroidered on this handkerchief. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about this person." "Just from this piece of cloth? I guess it's impossible just from the crest." "Silence, woman! I could easily find out with my dark arts, but I would extinguish yet another one of the lights of my life if I were to do so." "If it's a matter of money, we can have it. We have it. How much?" "Do you think I'd exchange my very life for money? I have more money than I'd ever need. I won't use my magic for someone who ignores the value of life. Leave." The flame of the candle swayed violently. "Mr. Michael, if you truly are a sorcerer as you claim, would you refuse to help us after seeing us in person?" The black curtains moved. Michael was apparently looking at Susanna and David. Michael let out a gasp. "My apologies. I shall proceed to use my dark magics." David was going to ask Susanna about the sudden change in Michael's attitude, but he was interrupted before he could. "I will attempt to follow the residual thoughts on this cloth, but I cannot do this by myself. I must borrow your energy waves."
Oh, yes. Doesn't sound like bullshit at all.
"Energy waves? I don't get it, but if it helps us solve the mystery of this crest, go ahead." "Thank you. I shall now follow the residual thoughts and send you what I perceive. Abandon all trivial thoughts and open your mind. Let us begin." Once he could no longer hear Michael's voice, David felt some kind of weight in his mind. He thought to himself that he was receiving Michael's thoughts. David tried to focus on this weight, but nothing seemed to happen. Then he started feeling drained for some reason. Then he heard Michael's voice. Rather, his voice resonated within his own head.
I'm the breathing part of this game too.
Yeah. "The ancestors of the owner of this cloth betrayed the Devil King. God, they will be rewarded with eternal happiness in the kingdom of God, but they've hidden their history and coat of arms, fearing the dark retribution. I've identified the residual thoughts. I should be able to track them to their source." David was now convinced that he was in one of his dreams, but unlike the other times, he now wanted to see where it would lead. "Do you see it?" This is the building I see in my mind.
It's the castle he always encounters.
Maybe? Do you see it? This magnificent building is the source of the coat of arms. I shall now confirm its location.
Let's check the GPS.
David observed the building pictured in his mind. It was some kind of castle. The image faded from his mind. David can now hear Michael's voice through his ears. This is all I can do. I hope it proves useful. Could you draw us a map? We have to go there. The black curtain swayed, and a slip of paper came out of the gap. Susanna took it and handed over a large sum of money in return. We're done here. Let's go, David. As he grabbed Susanna's hand, David chuckled bitterly to himself, thinking it felt very realistic for a dream.
It's great.
You know, we came upon this game having no expectations. We had no idea what it was about or anything like that. I gotta say, this game is perfect. What a perfect streaming game. After leaving the darkness of Michael's residence, David was blinded by the sudden sunlight. Yeah, it's like a horror game with the writing of like a porno. Is that about right?
Damn. Okay.
Like, are we on the same page? Like,
But it is funny, entertaining.
yeah. After a few seconds, he became used to the light. He was now convinced that his meeting with Michael was not a dream. Should we follow Michael's map? Of course, but first, there's something I'd like to ask you. Michael changed his attitude at your words. Could you tell me why? It's because you're very popular here in Rome. Your presence here should be all over the newspapers. I don't think there's anyone who doesn't know who you are, David. Somehow, he failed to recognize you. Once I told him who you were, he figured he could brag to have had David, the famous singer of Alina Vision, among his clients. Wow.
Right.
I'd like to roll insight. David wasn't fully satisfied with this explanation, but he kept the conversation going.
Sounds like bullshit.
Yeah. Is that so? What about when he used his magic? It was like one of my dreams. Didn't you feel tired? It was as if he was draining my energy. I'm okay, but you do look a little pale. Maybe we should go back to the hotel.
He needs some more pills, kid.
Yeah, I need some more pills. We've come this far. I want to know who the owner of this crest is. Look, there's a taxi over there. Let's go. I'm waiting for the montage where we just go through all the like landmarks of Italy.
Well, he only did it in his dream.
David and Susanna entered the taxi. Clark and Vince saw them leave and hurried to find a taxi of their own. Just as David's taxi was leaving their sight, they were able to find their ride. Hello, good sir. See the taxi? Could you please follow it? Lucky for them, there were no other taxis on the road. The rest were private cars.
Damn it. Another car got in between. Tell him to step on the gas already. Sheesh. Don't they know how to drive in Rome?
We're getting away from the hotel. Where do you think they're headed?
Taxi's headed for the River Tiber. They may be headed for the San Pietro's Basilica in the Vatican City.
The Vatican's the smallest country in the world. Some call it the Land of God, some the Kingdom of the Holy Spirit, others the headquarters of the Catholic Church. There are rumors that the Pope has enough authority to run the world.
You sure know a lot of stuff, Vince. The Vatican is just 0.44 square kilometers, and yet it has over 100 embassies all over the world. It's one of the richest countries out there. You know some random ass shit too, Clark.
Yeah, these guys are just like trying to impress each other with like, you know, fun facts. We just crossed Ponte Sant'Angelo. You're right, Chief. We're going to the San Pietro's Basilica.
I bet these guys play Trivial Pursuit and shit, huh?
Yeah.
Weird. They just crossed Pizza San Pietro. If they were going to the Basilica, this is where they get off.
Damn it. They drove past the Vatican museums. They just keep going, huh?
They're hitting all the landmarks.
Oh God, we are.
Leonardo da Vinci spent quite some time around these parts, ostensibly.
Dude, we are just totally... Oh my God. They turned again. I have no idea where they're going.
Taxi driver is totally cool with these two random guys. Hailing someone else. Well, they finally stopped. They got off, but the taxi's just parked there. Maybe they told them to wait. Let's stay here and see what they do.
David and Susanna got off the taxi and looked around them. Look, David, this is it! Yes, no doubt about it. This is the castle we saw. Michael's magic was for real. Let's see if we can notice the crest anywhere. Michael said that their family passed down the coat of arms in secret, but I can't imagine they built such a grandiose building without sticking the crest somewhere.
It's like business card size somewhere.
Yeah. David and Susanna walked around the building, examining it accurately. There it is, engraved on the gate post. It's the same size as the one on the handkerchief.
Ooh, just slot it in.
You're right, it has no colors, but it's definitely the same design. It's so small you wouldn't normally notice it if you weren't looking for it. I'm glad we finally found the crest. Michael also mentioned the Devil King. I'm sure the old man from your dream is pleased. God.
What?
Looks like the nameplate reads Damiel Horkai. Yeah, I remember that name. David felt like he heard the name somewhere before, but he couldn't remember exactly where. It's the only other sorcerer we've met. This is the end of my search. Thank you, Susanna. If it weren't for you, that old man would have haunted my dreams again tonight. Now I can go back to the hotel without worry. I don't think we're going back to the hotel, Andrew. I would be very surprised.
Without worry.
David and Susanna entered the taxi again. Wait, they're not going in?
They just wanted to find a place.
They just wanted to look at it? What?
Oh, there it is. As sure as a castle. Okay, bye.
Well, they got on the taxi again. What do we do?
I'm getting off to check whatever the hell they were looking at. You keep following them. We'll regroup at the hotel. Uh-oh. This sounds like a bad idea.
Clark got off the taxi, while Vince followed David and Susanna. Clark's fucking dead. Clark approached the gate post David and Susanna were inspecting.
Well, this is the same crest drawn on that handkerchief. Did the fortune teller tell them to come here or something? It's loading.
Mm-hmm. We haven't pressed any key to read data from the CD-ROM in a while.
Uh-oh. Well, plenty soon.
As soon as he returned to the hotel, David went to sleep without even taking his clothes off. No, that's a faux pas. He felt as if Michael, the fortune teller, had absorbed all of his energy. He was feeling better by the time Alan called him on the phone later on. When David came down to the lobby, the rest of the band was waiting for him, including Susanna.
Hey there, my man. How are you feeling? You're looking good.
Hey, we were just talking about changing the order of the songs for the concert tomorrow. Your songs are just too powerful, David. We're thinking about how to keep all that energy down so the audience won't go crazy again. Right, they were like fainting, like some of them were fainting, some of them were like scratching at their face. Other bands probably think we're full of it, but we have to do something before people actually get hurt. So, what do you think, David? Susanna managed to save our last concert, but yeah, I agree. We should change the song order.
That settles the matter. Now let's go eat. I found a good place. It's nice and quiet. We booked it for the entire evening so we can eat and drink without being bothered, David. Oh, David, don't you dare leave us halfway through this time.
The band left from the back of the hotel in 2 separate taxis. Clark and Vince tailed them in their own car.
Oh, they're not in a taxi now, or like their own taxi?
I don't remember, like, their,
They said in their car.
Maybe they left their car at the hotel and did, like, the previous stuff. I don't accurately remember the car situation of the cops, but maybe they, like, tracked them on foot or something. I don't know. They drove downtown and stopped under a neon sign reading Canzone.
Calzone?
As they walked through the door, other customers stood up and clapped for them. Yeah, okay, that happened.
Yay!
Hey, when I told the neighbors that Elena Vision made a reservation, they all decided to come here and see you, Mr. David. I'm gonna turn off the sign or we're gonna be flooded. While there were some young people, most of the customers were elderly. Rather than a party with their fans, it felt more akin to a family meal.
Oh man, I don't think it's gonna be very quiet. Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned we were Elena Vision.
It's fine. We haven't had this kind of atmosphere since we left London. I don't mind this once in a while. Please, take a seat. This is going to be a fun night. I hope you're ready to drink until the sun comes up. Once they were all seated, they started with a toast. Then they started bringing in an endless stream of food, from raw oysters to grilled lamb. There was a small stage inside the restaurant. One of the old men from the neighborhood was there, singing an Italian song. They were all listening, enjoying the performance. Outside the restaurant were Clark and Vince, waiting inside their car. Nobody's gonna believe they're closed with all the noise they're making in there.
Well, we gotta be on the lookout while Suzanne is in there. Still, I can't believe how popular David is, all the way here in Rome.
I've been thinking, after all the trouble to find the house with the crest, why would David just leave? Dude, I know, right? I would have gone inside.
Don't ask me. I'm gonna keep an eye here. Why don't you go buy us some hot dogs? From the looks of it, it's gonna be one long night.
I'm glad Vince is here to say what we're all thinking. It was midnight. Nobody seemed ready to leave the party yet. David, drunk with wine, was almost in a daze, resting his chin on his hands. Susanna, how do you feel? How do you feel, David? You can barely keep your eyes open by the looks of it. Not gonna need the sleeping pills tonight. I'm okay. Italians sure know how to party, huh? It's not just Italians. Look, Andrew's trying to sing in Italian too. Oh no!
Yes! Yes!
I think I might be a little drunk. I'm going outside to get some night air. Don't worry, I'll be right back.
I was hoping for some wine.
David stepped outside and went on a short walk, taking in the fresh air, trying to sober up. Unlike the shopping districts, there were barely any cars after midnight, so David thought it was a good time for a walk.
I'm gonna go tour the area.
Oh no, I recognize this.
Yay!
As he walked, David thought there was something off about his surroundings. I've never been here, but these streets are familiar. David felt like he was moving through muscle memory alone, as if he had always walked these streets. There should be an alley around the corner. David turned down the road and he stopped, dumbfounded. That's the residence of Daniel Horkai, the owner of the crest. But how did I get to the Ottaviano district? He approached the gate. And then he heard a scream coming from inside. Murder! Sir Horkai was murdered!
Void!
He saw a silhouette through the closed gates. The shadow ran out in front of him before disappearing in the darkness. What happened? For a moment, I think I recognized that face. Who was it? The gates of Horkai's residence opened, and a group of men wielding sticks came out, surrounding him. It's him! You murdered Sir Horkai! Kill him! No, you got the wrong man! The killer went that way! Did you take me for an idiot? I've seen the face of the killer, and it was you! Kill him! David tried to run away, but he was soon surrounded. There was no room to escape. Here we go. Avenge the master! The axe swung in front of his face. That's... the tiniest... Crash! He heard the sound of a bottle chattering. David, what happened? Oh, you're soaked with wine. David ran his fingers through his shirt, damp with wine. Then he realized he had another one of his nightmares. Sorry, my hand slipped. I must be more drunk than I thought. You better not have another glass, or you'll be a mess during tomorrow's concert. The sound of David's bottle crashing on the floor brought the party to an end. Damn.
Party over.
Man, did you have the sound on for the world's shortest...
Oh, I had it low, I didn't hear it.
Back in the hotel, David was worried about having a nightmare, so he asked Susanna to give him some of her pills. Here it goes! Pills here! Whether it was the pills or the wine, David fell asleep without dreaming, and was able to wake up late in the morning feeling refreshed. Once again, Clark and Vince were inside their car, parked behind the hotel. There's been no changes in Susanna's behavior during her stay in Rome. They should be leaving for Germany after tonight's concert.
You read the papers this morning? I could hardly believe it myself. Daniel Horkai, the owner of that house with the crest, was found murdered.
Yeah, it appears he was murdered around midnight. We were outside the restaurant the whole time, so we know Susanna had nothing to do with it.
David searches for the crest. A fortune teller points the way. He finds Horkai and BAM! He ends up dead. I don't think it's a coincidence. We're talking about an Earl here, one with a close connection to the Pope. This ain't your run-of-the-mill murder.
Chief, I know you're trying to find something on Susanna, and I agree that she does act suspicious here and there, but we can't pin Horkai's murder on her. That has to be a coincidence.
Winky dink.
After the sun went down, Alina Vision was ready to begin their last concert in Rome. Just like the previous time, David's energy fueled the crowd's excitement. The new sorting of their songs had the desired effect. While some of the audience collapsed from anemia, generally speaking, the concert ended without issues. Isn't anemia like thin blood or something?
Being anemic? Something
Yeah.
like that.
The next day, the band left the country for Rome's airport, seen off by a large crowd of fans. They were headed for the Frankfurt am Main airport in West Germany. David was still unaware of the murder of Daniel Horkai. When they reached the airport, rather than by their excited fans, they were surrounded by members of the press. Reaching the hotel was more problematic than they had expected. When they reached the Park Hotel, near the center of Frankfurt, they found security struggling to keep their fans from crowding the entrance. Before their tour of Europe, the band wouldn't even dream to be in a similar situation. They all gathered in Alan's room.
I'm glad we decided to go on this tour. Who knew we'd ever be this popular?
Hey, this is cool and all, but I can't wait to go back to England. I guess it's... okay, they're not an American band, they're just touring Europe from within Europe. You know what? I'm gonna write a new song from the last concert back home. Hey, well, we got 2 days before our next performance. What are we doing in the meantime? Some friends of mine asked me to buy some souvenirs, so I'd like to go out. Where's Susanna? Hey, I think she got a call from our promoter and left. Forget about it. Yeah, let's work on a new song. You weren't there last time, David, so... We've got 2 days, then you better make time for that. With that said, how about we eat something? The band left the hotel to look for a restaurant. Meanwhile, Clark and Vince were driving through the... oh, God damn it. Märchenstrasse. Of course they were tailing Susanna's taxi. Not even a day since they're here in West Germany, and Susanna's already going on a trip all by herself. Where do you think she's going?
We're already past Castle, so maybe she's going to Hamlin. She's got to be meeting up with someone.
I hope so. I really want to try out this baby. The water tap here is state-of-the-art. West German made. It's a shame we didn't have it back then in Paris.
It was recommended by a fellow detective from West Germany. He says it's the best thing his country ever made.
We're almost in Hamlin. Is she gonna stop there? Susanna's car stopped in front of a riverside restaurant. She walked inside. After confirming the name of the restaurant on its sign, Clark and Vince followed her. The restaurant was surprisingly crowded considering its rural position. Susanna was seated at a table in the corner. As there were no empty tables close by, Clark and Vince were forced to take a seat farther away than they had intended. On Clark's prompt, Vince approached the table next to Susanna's and exchanged a few words with the customer. Vince returned a few moments later. "It's done, Chief. The wiretap's under a table."
Way to go. By the way, what did you tell the guy?
I told him that his plate looked delicious and asked him the name of the dish. Apparently they're fried herrings, the cheapest and yet tastiest dish at this place. I don't really like fish, but if you're coming here, you just gotta try them, so...
If you don't, that guy might come up here and start chatting us up in German, and Susanna might notice us, and it'll all go south from there, so you'd better order your damn herrings.
Hope they're not red. Alright, I get it, but you gotta eat them too, Chief. As the fried herrings were brought to their table, a man sat in front of Susanna. Vince took a picture of the man with a hidden camera, while Clark put on an earphone. Press any key to start reading data from the CD-ROM.
Yay!
Aw, yeah.
I love my NEC.
So, how are you enjoying this so far?
This is great. I love it.
It's so great having like a cool like relic of the past that's like really interesting, but also it's just superbly fun to dunk on. Like, I'm really excited to play Shenmue in December also, because like that's a game that's both like very nostalgic and I would say important for me, but also it is just oh man, it is a game that's so easy to just dunk on. I think we'll all have a good time. I'm the only one who's played that in our group, I think.
Yeah, I never played Shenmue.
Oh yeah, between last mirror stream and this one, I looked up some information about the PC88. Yeah, it was like a line of computers that like being any like having like NEC stuff and it was like kind of part of the computer. And basically it just refers to a type of computer that has like two floppy drives that like kind of read back and forth. It's also very important to look for one that has a FM sound chip, because that's like, you know, the crux of this console is like the music, I guess. The man was about 30 years old or so. From the way he was dressed, Clark had the feeling he was some kind of artist, rather than a businessman. Susanna greeted him with a smile, as if she was acquainted with him. Oh shit, that's Spock haircut. Or is that a hat?
Because he has some hat on.
Okay. Oh god, what's this guy's voice? My name is Gokul. Thank you for your help back in London. And thank you for coming all the way here. Have there been changes in the Devil King's condition? God.
Okay.
The wall between dream and reality is about to collapse. His body shows the bruises from injuries he receives in his dreams. There's no better proof. Okay. Yesterday, I've been told that the blood of the betrayer has been severed. This is wonderful news. I can't believe that the sorcerer named Damiel Horkai was apparently a good guy. Yet another sign of the power of the Devil King. It was another miracle born from his dream. Seemingly, there is someone capable of severing the blood of sorcery here in West Germany, but we've been unable to find any leads. We need the power of the Devil King for that. Speaking of which, did you bring what we talked about? Gakko took out a small box from his pocket and placed it on the table and opened it. So this is the ring mentioned at the London gathering. Are you sure I can take it? This ring is more valuable than our own lives. We would all give them gladly for the sake of the rebirth. Take it. From dream to reality, and from reality to dream, may our dearest wish come true. By the way, David's becoming more and more popular. It must be hard taking care of him. I admit it's hard getting used to it. I'm always busy dealing with security and the press. We'd better eat up before our food gets any colder. So this is the most, like, openly evil that Susanna's been. I mean, we've definitely had, like, our suspicions about her, but this is, like, the first, like, real confirmation that she's, like, behind all this. Susanna put the ring box in her bag and started eating her meal with Gakko. Come on, Chief, it's not fair. I want to listen too.
You can listen to the tape later. Now eat your herring.
At least tell me what they're talking about.
No. That's something you'd get if I paraphrased it. Just wait until later and you'll hear it from the tape.
He makes a good point. Just give me the keynotes.
Well, it seems that Susanna and that Gakko guy met at some meeting in London. They mentioned the Devil King, the blood of the betrayer, severing the blood of sorcery. This Devil King could be some kind of nickname, but the rest just sounds like some kooky occult crap. I agree. Sounds like the purpose of this meeting was for Gakko to give Susanna some kind of prize ring. She already put it in her bag, though. I didn't get a look at it.
Yeah, I don't get what they're talking about at all. I'll listen to the tape later. Susanna and Gakko finished their meal and left. They're splitting up.
Oh, you follow Gakko. I'll keep tailing Susanna.
Clark and Vince followed their two marks. Gakko led Susanna into his car and drove off. Car sounds, yeah! Gakko was driving towards Frankfurt, just as the sun was setting, and the artificial illuminations were... Really? The artificial illuminations were lighting up. Gakko stopped near David's hotel. After dropping Susanna off, he drove away. Can't they just say streetlights? Like, what the fuck? After dropping Clark off, Vince went after Gakko's car. Susanna went inside the hotel. She addressed the clerk at the front desk. Is the band here? They left a while ago. They left the keys in my care, so they must still be out. Susanna took her room key and headed for the elevator. At about 10 o'clock, the band returned to the hotel. Andrew was not with them. Too busy singing Italian karaoke, I guess.
I guess.
Hey, you okay, David? You might have had one beer too many. No way, I'm great. German beer is the best in the world. You can't get sick from it ever. I'm inclined to agree. Stuff's great. Can you believe Andrew? A woman shows the slightest interest in him and off he goes. Man, you two are a lot alike. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
I honestly know very little about your love life. That's all I have to go on. He's cool. I wish I could be like him. I don't have anything else besides music. And, you know, being the Double King, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're practicing our new song tomorrow. Andrew's probably gonna be wasted tomorrow. Think Susanna's back? She was checking out the venue, right? She's a hard worker, that woman. The tour wouldn't be this successful without her. Alan, I heard there's some issues with the manufacturing of our records. How much are we really going to earn from this ordeal? Well, revenue is split up 50-50 between the band and the office, so, individually. Forget about it. I'm too drunk to do math, but I'm pretty sure we'll be rolling in it. I'm off to bed. I better sleep while I'm drunk, or I'll have nightmares. Big mood. Is Andrew going to be okay in his own? He always got carried away easily, and it just gets worse with popularity. Andrew, you might be voicing one less character.
Oh well.
Hey, don't worry about what happened at that Italian restaurant. In the end, we all had fun. As for Andrew, he's a big boy. He can take care of himself. Now let's get some sleep. The three of them went to their respective rooms. As David was getting dressed, someone knocked at his door. He opened the door. It was Susanna. You're back. Oh dear, your face is all red. You've been drinking, haven't you? Just a little. David let Susanna in, closed the door, and kissed her. I love you too. Oh, I brought you some medicine. How are you feeling? I think I'm okay, but I'll take some just in case. That nightmare guy shows up whether I feel well or not. David, I have to tell you something about your nightmares. Listen to me, okay? Susanna took the ring out of her pocket and handed it to David. I found this ring. What does this have to do with my nightmares? It said that you won't have nightmares if you wear this ring. Someone at the promoter's office is into exorcisms. I told them that I was having constant nightmares and they recommended this item. Like some kind of dream catcher? Never took you for a superstitious type. I can understand pills, but I don't see how a ring would do anything. Mind over matter, as they say, so if you convince yourself that you won't have nightmares while wearing the ring, then you won't have them. I suppose it won't hurt to try. Besides, you went through the trouble of getting it for me. Will it fit? Jeez. David put on the ring. What do you know? It's just my size. I have to admit, it's a pretty wicked design. It might actually work.
Wicked.
I'm sure it will. At that moment, the phone rang. Hey, Ellen, what's up? Huh? Andrew? Okay, I'll call Susanna. We'll meet up in the lobby. Did something happen to Andrew? Oh, apparently you lost a whole lot of money playing cards. You see, we were about to come back here when we met a woman who could speak English and... We better go before we have a major problem on our hands. I'll get the checkbook. We'll meet in the lobby. Susanna left the room. David felt uneasy as he thought about Andrew's situation. He set his eyes on the pills Susanna brought him. He always felt more confident after taking them, as if everything would go the way he wanted to. He considered taking them now to quell his anxiety. Oh my god. Andrew, what do we do? We take the pills, right?
Oh shit. Totally.
David left his room. Alan and Martin were waiting in the lobby. Yeah, like, the fact that we had an actual choice there, like, blindsided me. Hey, did you talk to Susanna? Yeah, she'll join us in a minute. So how much money are we talking about? He said he lost about 20,000 DM. That's almost 32,400 US dollars? He doesn't have that much, so he'll have to ask Susanna for a loan. Susanna arrived. So I've heard. So how much did Andrew lose? He told me 20,000 DM, but knowing him, he might still be playing, trying to recoup his losses.
Sounds like me and the stocks.
God. I brought the checkbook. I can pay what he owes, but it'll be subtracted from Andrew's income. Let's go. They hailed a cab in front of the hotel and headed towards the establishment where Andrew was.
Such a strange plot development.
Once they arrived, they found Andrew playing cards with a well-dressed gentleman.
Yo, I've lost a bit more, but my luck is starting to change. I can feel it. Just give me a few, alright?
You shouldn't gamble when you're so drunk, Andrew. Let's go. Forget about it.
Alright, let's make this count. I'm betting 10,000 DM on this. I'm sure you guys brought Lady Luck herself with you.
Considering how much you've let me earn, I'll gladly allow you to pick the stakes. I have to say, you British people are quite the jolly fellows. The man dealt the cards. Andrew had a 3 of a kind.
It's like the trip. Everyone has like crazy hands.
Yeah.
I'll change too.
Even after exchanging 2 cards, he only had a 3 of a kind. Oh. I have a full house of 4s and 8s. It appears you now owe me 30,000 DM, Mr. Andrew. Would you like to continue?
No way I'm stopping. I'm gonna go win 10 times as much. Right, Susanna?
No, Andrew, please stop playing. He's a professional. You'll never be able to win.
It's a game of chance, though. I'm not retreating like a loser. I'm playing until I get it all back.
Holy shit. Hey, come on, man. We're all worried about you. Let's go. David was fascinated by the stakes at play. He thought of making 10,000 DM in a matter of seconds.
Let's black magic our way into this. Yes.
Switch
yes.
versus Andrew. Okay. All right. We're just yes-anding everything this game throws at us. David pushed Andrew off the chair and sat in his place.
What are you doing, David? Can't you see I'm playing?
I got the devil's luck. You can play until morning and never win. He's a pro. Let me do this before you bet your clothes as well. The spooky music's chiming in. You know something good's gonna happen.
Have you lost your mind? You can never beat me at poker, and you think you can beat this guy?
We're here to bring Andrew back, man. What's gotten into you? David, please, stop! Let's not waste any time. I'm betting 20,000 DM. Hey, fine by me. You're David, aren't you? I'm actually a fan of yours. I'm honored to meet you. With that said, I'm not gonna hold back. The man dealt the cards, slowly and methodically. He was clearly enjoying himself. David looked at his cards. He had a 3 of a kind of 3s, an ace, and a 4. How many would you like to change? David spoke. I'm changing 4. David changed all of his cards, excluding the ace of
5 aces. Let's go.
Yeah, 5 aces. Aren't you gonna change any? No, fine as is. It's gotta be. Okay, it's gotta be 4 aces. The man showed his hand. He had a 4 of a kind of kings.
Oh, 5 aces. He had a 4 of a kind from the start? Seriously?
Yeah, I hope you're not implying I've been cheating, sir. Do you have any proof? Andrew, shut the hell up. David showed his hand. It was a 4 of a kind of aces. Aces are better than kings, so I win. How about another round? I'm not very good at dealing, so be my guest.
I can't believe it. They both had 4 of a kinds. You're one lucky bastard, David.
David, please, isn't this enough? We're only down 10,000 DM now, so... You have quite the luck, Mr. David. I'll have to take this seriously. The man shuffled the cards carefully. He offered the deck to David, but he did not even so much as touch it. The man then proceeded to deal the cards. David's cards were scattered on the table. How many are you gonna change? All 5 of them.
Hell yes.
David changed his entire hand. I'm fine as is. Oh, God.
This is bullshit.
The man showed his hand. It was a royal straight flush of hearts.
What the fuck? What the? You gotta be kidding me. The cards must be marked or something. How is he only like coming to these conclusions now that he's like a third party to this situation?
Yeah, because he can see it from the outside now. Please, I'm a professional. However, Mr. David did not cut the deck. I assume no responsibility. Spades are better than hearts, right? David showed his hand. It was a royal straight flush of spades. It appears you were too naive, sir. You're gonna cheat. You should at least pick the best possible hand.
This can't be real. This is my favorite part of the game so far.
My favorite part was like the just
Endless fortune teller tunnel.
Oh, that was a good one, but no, the endless tour around all the landmarks of France all loaded on sleeping pills.
That was pretty great. It took forever though.
Yeah. That was like 20 minutes of just constant taxi cabs. Reading, I guess, Encyclopedia Britannica or whatever they had at the time, in Carta. And now we're 10,000 DM over. But I'll let you keep them as my thank you for looking after Andrew this long. Holy shit. What happened to you, David? Well, I suppose you solved this issue. Let's go back. This was literally a miracle. I'm getting the same vibes I get from our concerts. Man, what a thrill. For Andrew's sake, let's forget this ever happened. As for you two, David, or Andrew, David, promise me you'll never gamble again. You are musicians. The band left the casino and took a taxi back to the hotel. The gambler didn't even have the strength to get up from his chair. He mumbled to himself while fiddling with the cards. It's the first time I lost after cheating so much. I lost to a complete amateur. Am I getting too old for this? He lost to a double king, bitch. I got the powers of this weird ring, the water from the Star of Darkness, and sleeping pills on my side. Back at the hotel, David was having trouble falling asleep, still excited after a showdown with the professional gambler. He turned off the lights and lied on the bed, to no avail. He raised his hand towards the ceiling and looked up, for no particular reason. The faint moonlight coming from the window illuminated his hand in the darkness of the night. He noticed some kind of aura around his hand. He kept staring at his hand. Slowly and steadily, the energy was changing shape, following his imagination. There's a good shit, Andrew, right here.
Okay.
He could see a castle surrounded by nature. Okay, so I'm wondering, if we chose not to take the sleeping pills, and then we went to gamble, would we still have won?
I don't know. Maybe not.
The scene changed to two men talking from the top of the castle, looking down at the nature, stretching as far as the eye could see. One of the men looked like David. No, it wasn't a simple resemblance. It was him, as he would look like 10 years into the future. Oh my god! Wait,
That's
only 10 years?
Holy shit.
Damn! This is all thanks to your dark arts, Master Hroth. The lands have never been more fertile. The people are eternally grateful to you. Apparently, the man who looked like an older David was called Hroth. That's not him.
Oh,
Hroth
okay.
spoke. Okay, that's our boy. Sure.
There we go.
No need to be modest, Lafir. My dark arts merely laid the groundwork. Everything else was your work. Lafir, the other man, seemed to be around 80 years old. He acted like some sort of guardian to Hroth, the king. I hope the people of the north are faring well. I'd like to send them some of our crops. I'm afraid the king of the north would refuse your assistance. As long as he and his family can have a life of luxury, he doesn't care if his people starve to death. Is there nothing we can do is there truly nothing we can do to save them? My liege, I ask you to forget about the people of the north. The king of the north would take any action as a personal insult. If he were to declare war, we wouldn't be able to defend ourselves. Who are these people? Okay. A king should strive to bring joy to his people. I wish the king of the north would understand that. He already accuses you of being a double king who uses the dark arts for his own gain. I beg you, sire, do not stir the hornet's nest any further. Then, Hroth vanished, and the rest of the scenery followed. That wasn't a dream. I was conscious the entire time. I can feel it. Why am I so tired? David tried to summon the scene again, but he was too tired to focus. Soon after, he fell asleep. The sunlight coming through the window woke him up. His body still felt somewhat heavy, but he was able to sleep throughout the entire night. He took a shower and left the room to have breakfast. When he entered the restaurant, he saw Susanna drinking a cup of coffee. He took a seat next to her. Good morning, David. You're up early, I see. It's still 10 a.m. I didn't have any nightmares this time, so I slept well. See, I told you the ring would work, but you do look a little tired. Are you feeling okay? Yeah, I didn't have any nightmares, but I had some kind of vision, as if I was seeing a recording of ancient times. That sounds interesting. Were you in there? Kinda. There was a man called Hra. He looked like me, just older. He was some kind of benevolent king trying to make the world a better place. David told Susanna all he could remember. A benevolent king that looks a lot like you? That's a lovely story. So what happened with that northern kingdom? Unfortunately, it's when the scene disappeared and I couldn't summon it again. For some reason, conjuring that footage made me very tired. Maybe you'll see the rest tonight. You should have a hearty meal to build up your stamina. On Susanna's suggestion, David ordered a 1 kilogram steak. The two of them enjoyed their meal together. 1 kilogram is like how many pounds again? Like 3 pounds? 3-ish?
Yeah. 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds.
Oh, Jesus!
A hell of a steak. I think it's a shared. It's a lot of steak.
I'm a big boy, and that's probably more than I could eat. I've never tried to eat a kilogram of meat before, I don't think. I don't know, that's probably a lie. After visiting the venue where they would be performing, the band went to a recording studio that Susanna arranged for them, where they practiced a new song composed by Martin. The voice is perfect for your voice, David. Now, I was thinking about giving it a house arrangement. House? I guess David could pull that off now. Besides, it is a good idea to try different things. We don't want our fans to get tired of us. Then I'll get to work on that ASAP. I want it to be ready for our London performance. I don't know, Martin. This student's got nothing on the equipment we have in London, right, Andrew?
Honestly, I just want to leave Germany and go back home.
Sounds like you're hungover.
Done with this shit.
Look at you. A few rounds of bad gambling and you're homesick. Whoops. We promised not to talk about gambling. Hey, forget about it.
Anyway, let's think about the arrangement when we're back in London. For now, let's keep practicing. Tomorrow is the big day, so don't push yourself, David.
After finishing their practice, the band returned to the hotel. Clark and Vince, it's been a while, were inside a car parked behind the hotel, tailing Susanna's movements as usual. You know, that guy Susanna met at the restaurant, Gokul? Turns out he's a painter. I went to his art gallery to check out his work and, well, I don't see how those paintings could bring home the bacon. Wait, are you an art critic now? Ah, hey, that's what he said!
He knows everything. Yes. Why? You an art critic now? Didn't you tell me his paintings sound like hotcakes the other time?
Holy shit.
You like picking up on his sass pretty hard.
He sells them to rich people mostly. He's a smooth talker.
said he has a lot of hobbies. Fortune telling wouldn't happen to be one of them, would it?
He has so much time and money to spare that I had to write it all down. Hold on. Ah, there it is. Yeah, it turns out he does have some interest in fortune telling. Jesus.
That man Susanna met in Paris. Flannel, the CEO of that trading company, he also enjoys his fortune telling apparently. And there's Michael, that fortune teller Susanna and David saw in Rome. Finding all the IRL fortune tellers from that dream.
Now you mention it, I've written down fortune telling a lot in my notebook. It came up in France, Italy, and now Germany.
Alright, let's have the London Association of Detectives look into any links between Susanna and fortune telling. My gut tells me they'll find something.
What about the client who asked us to investigate Susanna?
I'll give them a call once we're back in London. Well, it's 2 a.m. They have a concert tomorrow, so I doubt they're doing anything tonight. Well, let's go.
Car sounds! As Clark and Vince drove off, David was in his room, the lights turned off. He was focusing on the silhouette of his hand, trying to perceive that aura once more. He really wanted to see what happened to Barack, the man who looked so much like him. He couldn't bear to stay 1 second longer than necessary in that studio.
Damn, dude. He's getting addicted to this shit.
Finally, his focus paid off. A white dot appeared in the darkness, slowly becoming larger and larger till he could see scenery projected on the ceiling. Coffee. We saw the castle from the previous night, but it was surrounded by an army and engulfed in flames. I take it this is the Northern Kingdom attacking. The image has changed. You can see a stone passage. There was King Hroth, held up by Lafir, and a woman. David was startled by what he saw. The woman was a dead ringer for Susanna. My liege, are you alright? Susanna, you did give him the right antidote, right, didn't you? Of course I did. I concocted it myself. It should prove effective soon. I can't believe Horkai would poison our king. We knew the king of the north had eyes on our kingdom. I was not expecting Horkai of all people to betray us.
That Horkai!
If only our king hadn't been poisoned, he could have used his dark arts to prevent the army of the north from approaching. There's no point in dwelling on, the king is waking up. I thought I was already on my way to the afterlife. Where am I? My liege, you were poisoned by Horkai. He betrayed us. The people of the north are attacking. The castle is burning. Susanna and I were able to get you to safety through the secret passage. So the water of life Horkai gave me was poisoned? The king of the north must be afraid of my dark arts. He'll never stop pursuing me until he confirms my death. Now wait a sec. Wasn't the dream where we had the water of the Star of Darkness, the dream that had Horkai in it? We'll have to go back and check the tapes, but I think that's the case. We must get away from here, and fast. Surely the other kings will assist you. I feel better now. The antidote was your work, Susanna, correct? Your talent never ceases to amaze me. We're almost out. When the North Army was in sight, I asked Fenrir to gather some troops and defend this exit. We should be fine. As they neared the exit, a man approached them with some soldiers in tow. Ah, Fenrir, thank you for coming. Our liege was poisoned by Horkai. We barely escaped with our lives. What's the situation out there? Man, look at this guy. Oh no! There are no enemies out there, but I'm afraid I'll be taking the king's life myself. Fenrir thrust his sword through Lafir's heart. Susanna desperately held the king in her arms. These lands already belong to the north. Roth may be a powerful sorcerer normally, but that poison turned him into a feeble, powerless man. Stay back, Susanna, or I will have to kill you with him. Fenrir, you traitor! If you want to take his life, then you'll have to take mine as well. At that moment, King Roth stood up on his own, moving away from Susanna. You call me a feeble, powerless man, Fenrir. How about I show you how wrong you are? Roth pointed his fingers towards Fenrir's head. Fenrir dropped his sword and fell to the ground, gripping its forehead. His men ran away, in a panic. Fenrir, that scar in your forehead will be inherited by your descendants. Your line is forever branded as the blood of the betrayer. Roth and Susanna left Fenrir writhing on the ground and went through the exit. So we're going to be looking for a guy with a scar in his head now.
Well, one of our bandmates has kind of a scar on his face.
Oh shit.
Forget about it.
No way! As David watched the scene, his strength was steadily draining. Before long, the images faded away, leaving David panting heavily. Where is this story going?
I have no idea. That's great. I appreciate that still.
I can't breathe. I need those pills.
Pills.
David's arm felt heavy, like lead, as he stretched it towards the phone. He called Susanna, asking her to bring the medicine. Susanna knocked at his door. David used the little strength he had left to get up and open the door. Susanna held him up and brought him back to bed before giving him the medicine. You've been summoning those visions again. Yeah, it was more tiring than I thought. Any more and I might have actually died. Oh my god, dude.
Right.
I'm not going to let you die. In the vision, King Haroth's lands were invaded by the King of the North. He was forced to run away. That man who looks a lot like you, right? But you said he could use a special power, the Dark Arts. How could he lose? A man called Horkai poisoned him, so he couldn't use his powers. King Haroth survived only thanks to a woman who gave him an antidote. A woman who looked a lot like you, Susanna. Oops. Could she be the same Susanna from your other dream? Oh, I wonder. Now that you mentioned it, in that dream there was also a man called Horkai. That was also the name of the house with the coat of arms that we found. Maybe there's a connection. Holy shit, my dude. Was this Horkai the only traitor? No, there was another, Fenrir, who killed Lafir as they were escaping. King Haroth used his powers to give him a scar in his forehead. He said something about his descendants inheriting the scar, and his lineage would be branded as the blood of the betrayer. Hello, Teeks 3D. How you doing? A scar in his forehead, huh? I wonder if his descendants do have that scar. I doubt it. You don't inherit scars from your parents, you know? Besides, these visions are something from a time long gone. Oh, you're looking better now. These are just bland sleeping pills and vitamin supplements, but they're like energy drinks to you. Believe it or not, these pills do wonders for me. I can feel power surging from within. So you've been playing Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo? That's cool, man. Only played a little bit of that one. This was the last of the pills, though. Oh, I know. I'll have the hospital here contact the hospital in Paris and have them send the prescription. I'll take care of it tomorrow. So she's definitely going to be, like, meeting with another fortune teller.
Hell yes. More fortune tellers. See if it's get it.
Please do. I think I might lose my mind without them. Little PC game. You'll be fine for tonight. Now stop looking at those visions, okay? They're not good for your health. After making sure David was feeling alright, Susanna left the room. Due to his exhaustion, David woke up the next day at about 2 p.m. Hey, that was me today. He went down in the lobby looking for his friends. The other 3 band members were there. Okay, I see what you mean by a scar in his head, but like I thought that was just like his hair. Like his hair is like
Must be his hair.
Jeez, what happened to you? It's 2 p.m., David. You do remember we have a concert tonight, yeah? Sorry, but it's not nightmares, it's sleepiness. My head is still foggy from all that sleeping. I need coffee. David went to the counter in the lobby. Wait. Man, when it's not nightmares, it's sleepiness. Well, at least you got a full night rest.
I have to say, David is like a different man. He was like this back in England.
These kinds of things happen in the music world. One day you hit it big and become a star. Maybe we'll change too. Who knows?
When we cash in on the money after the last concert in London, I'd like to take a vacation. We've been working ourselves to the bone this year.
David came back. Sorry it took so long. The girl at the counter wanted an autograph. Alan, is everything ready at the venue? Yeah, it's all set up as usual. Susanna said she'd go there ahead of us, so I'm sure she's taking care of everything. We'll have to leave in about an hour. David and his friends chatted in the lobby, relaxing their nerves for the upcoming performance. Meanwhile, Clark and Vince were walking in the Romerberg Square. They were tailing Susanna and Guckle. Someone with a scar on their forehead. That's not a lot to go on. Besides, we don't even know if they're in Germany. The Devil King can only see visions of people and places connected to his current location. That means the person with a scar on their forehead must be here. I know you're busy with the concert, so I'll look for this person myself. I'll ask around. I actually know a lot of people. Guckle handed Susanna a paper bag containing pills, and then they parted ways. Welp. Clark and Vince kept telling Susanna, "Are you sure we shouldn't follow that Guckle fellow?"
Yeah, he only came here to give her that bag. I'd really like to know what's in it, but that's gonna be hard.
A wiretap isn't going to be much useful if your mark is walking in a park, huh? I'd really like to have a compact, high-directional microphone right now. Oh, you should call Solid Snake.
Directional microphone. I'll look into it. But that said, I wonder what's so important that she needed to get home a few hours before the concert.
What if it's drugs? The whole concert could just be a front for drug trafficking.
Nice one. That bug is too small for trafficking. Well, we'll see.
Clark and Vince kept tailing Susanna. And so began their first performance in Germany. The crowd was even more excited than it was during their concert in Italy. The band was getting more and more into it. David's energy reached new peaks. Even Martin, the calmest member of the band, was yelling. The venue was full of excited energy, both above and below the stage. Forget the ballad, David. Let's keep this energy flowing. Alan approached David to talk to him. I had the same idea. I'll go tell Andrew. Without skipping a beat, David approached Andrew.
No way! Things are getting way too hot as it is. We're doing a ballad next. Go tell Alan.
Andrew is seemingly the only member to have kept a modicum of sanity, perhaps due to his sense of responsibility as a problem solver in the band. Hey, what happened with the gambling, though?
Whatever. Done with that.
The audience left their seats and started crowding the stage. Several women collapsed and were trampled over.
Whoa!
The staff pushed the crowd away and helped the women. The concert continued without any serious injuries. The band played a ballad. The audience returned to their seats. While the amount of excitement was still high, it was slowly waning. Seeing some of their fans collapse seemingly woke up the band members from their trance, who then used every trick to contain the excitement of their fans and end the concert without incidents. The band returned to their waiting room, wiping the sweat off their faces. Good work, guys. Whew, we almost had to interrupt the concert.
Yeah, I was in a cold sweat. David, Alan, I have to try not to get so carried away next time.
But David needs to do that, or the audience won't get excited. I know we can't let them get too crazy, but is it really a concert if they're not having fun?
I mean, even Martin was going crazy tonight. I'm almost afraid to think of the future.
I couldn't help it. That's just what happens when you listen to David singing. The hell? Hey, damn straight, you can't tell me to keep it down. What am I supposed to do? Plug my ears? I'm pretty sure you were into it yourself, Andrew. Are you saying it's my fault the audience started collapsing?
I'm trying to restrain myself. I'm trying to avoid the worst case scenario here, but you have no self-control. What? Why the hell is this coming from this guy?
Yeah, this is like the last person I want to hear this from. Come on, guys, don't fight over this. It was mostly my fault anyway. From now on, I promise to follow your song order, okay, Andrew? Alright, let's get you back to a hotel. You're going to feel better after a shower. Sorry. My mind went somewhere. Like, I guess, like, maybe, like, Andrew is, like, he's serious and all, like, he's a problem solver in all things, but, like, gambling is his one kryptonite. The one chink in his armor. After returning to the hotel and taking a shower, the band was able to celebrate the success of the concert with some beer. Once the fatigue of the concert caught up to them, they all returned to their rooms. Tired from all the excitement, David went to bed, forgetting about the temptation of the visions. Ooh. The next day, the band took a bus towards their next concert site, West Berlin. They reach their hotel, aptly called Berlin, in the evening. Their concert would be held 2 days later. The band was chatting in a luxurious meeting room that Susanna had arranged for them. We must be making a killing with this tour. Look at this fancy room. Remember we could barely afford business hotels and had to survive on instant food? Wait.
Hope we can keep getting along even as we get famous. The moment one of us leaves the band, Alino Vision is over.
Well, that's a flag.
Yep.
It's going to be fine. We went through a lot of crap together, you know? Anyway, how about we check out the Berlin Wall tomorrow? It might not be there the next time we come to Germany. Oh my god.
Time for a tour.
Oh, I'm definitely going. I've always wanted to see it with my own eyes. At that moment, there was a knock on the door and Susanna came in. Why, you're still up? Listen to this. I just heard there's going to be a charity magic show at the Bristol Hotel tomorrow night. I was able to get 5 tickets. How about it? There won't be many guests, so you should be able to relax without being bothered.
There won't be many guests since it's for charity, but I can't imagine it's going to be very interesting. You can't do elaborate tricks inside a hotel.
Oh, it won't be simple magic tricks. Apparently it's some kind of super magic show, like ESP. I've never seen it myself, but those who saw it claim there's no way they're simple tricks. This is definitely like something that one of her friends set up. Oh, I've always been interested in ESP. Who's going to perform? What the fuck? Horgan Crost. Apparently he hates television, so he will only appear on a live stage. Gross, I've heard about him. They say he's a man with a third eye, and that he has psychic powers. Since he can't use those power to make money, he pretends they're magic tricks instead. What the fuck? How about it, David? You don't see actual superpowers every day. If we're all going, I'm coming too. I've seen a lot of magic tricks in my life, but actual psychic powers? That would be a first. I can't do this, man. Sure, I'm game. I gotta see these so-called psychic powers. Honestly, I don't really believe in ESP and the like. Forget about it.
Probably a scam. But it's not like I have anything better to do, so why not? Yeah, you know about scams, pal.
Okay then, we're leaving tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock. I've never seen an Esper before, so I'm looking forward to it. The hotel where Alino Vision was staying would not turn off the lights until late at night. We've had 2 uneventful nights. The next day, the band went to see the Berlin Wall.
Or we'll say your bloodlust eventually.
They were back to the hotel at 6 o'clock where Susanna was waiting for them. After changing their clothes, they got into a taxi and headed to Hotel Bristol. Oh god. I'm getting the flashbacks. They arrived at Hotel Bristol. The bellboy guided them to the charity show where a table for 5 had been reserved for them. It's hard to tell what's going on in this picture because there's so few pixels. When I first saw it, I was just like bewildered. Like, okay, what's the subject here?
An AI-generated image.
The other guests were wearing tuxedos and fancy dresses, conversing in a hushed voice. Classical music was being played at a suitably low volume. Thank God we got changed. They would have turned us away at the door if we were still wearing our day clothes. I told you this was a prestigious hotel. Of course you dressed formally for a charity show. I shouldn't have come. I had no idea it'd be this fancy, eh? You know, once we're back in London, if you're ever awarded a platinum record, you'll have to attend the even fancier events. You'll have to get used to at least this much. Okay, before this magician gets on stage, what do you think the over-under is on him having a facial scar?
100%.
100%? Okay.
If we work even harder and have successful tours in America and Japan, a platinum record is actually a real possibility.
You guys being awarded one is one of my dreams. Now then, let's eat. They won't bring us anything else unless we finish our plates. As new dishes were being brought, the stage darkened to the sound of drums and cymbals. Maybe? Maybe? Then, Horgan Cross, the magician, appeared under the spotlight. After a quick greeting, he picked up a cup from the table. As you can see, there are 2 identical glasses here. I will put one of them on your table, dear guest. About half the guests were foreigners. He had an assistant translating for him. Cross approached the nearest table, put the glass down, and returned to the stage. I can't wait to see the effect that they put on the glass. Now I will place a coin inside the remaining glass. He dropped the large coin in the glass, which rang loudly. Once the ringing subsided, the coin had vanished.
Instantaneous transmission.
Then the guest shrieked, the guest from the nearest table shrieked. David and his friends turned that way, and they were surprised by what they saw. There was a coin inside the supposedly empty glass. The coin had moved from one glass to another. Hey, the glass on the stage is too far away from that table. This can't be just a trick, but the coin definitely changed places. Martin, is this ESP? You said it yourself, it wasn't a trick or sleight of hand. So it has to be psychic powers.
Clearly. No other explanations.
I still can't believe it. Maybe we just didn't notice. If we did it one more time, then maybe... Stressed, possibly out of being out of his element, Alan was unusually drunk on German wine. Cross held out his hands to stop the applause. Some people here seem to think the glasses were rigged. This time I'm going to pour water into my glass. See the truth for yourselves. Frost poured water into his glass. It was clearly flowing, but strangely enough, it wouldn't actually fill the glass. Observe, I'm pouring water into my glass, but it's filling the glass on the guest table. Do you still believe this to be a trick? That bastard! There ain't no such thing as psychic powers. There's gotta be a trick, an illusion.
Calm down, Alan. I came here to say psychic powers, and that's what we got. Why are you even mad? Quit making a scene. People are staring.
Aside from, like, the gambling thing, like, Andrew's just, like, constantly the like, mindset that I'm always trying to manifest, you know? Once he realized the other guests were staring at him, Alan turned red. ESP are amazing. The water moved from one glass to the other. It must be some kind of warp. If he used even more power, that kind of ability would be incredibly useful.
Hell yeah, David.
Hold on. Instant transmission. Pew! Pew! See that scar across his head? They say that's his third eye. It's rumored that's where his psychic powers come from. Okay, this is definitely our guy.
Oh, his forehead.
That's right. Right now it's closed, but I read he can unleash incredible powers when his third eye opens up. Unfucking believable.
Or unleashing some of Tien Shinhan's powers. I don't remember what his moves are called. With his third eye.
He has a tri-beam, I know that.
Tri-beam.
Okay. Fenrir from the dream, or whatever, the vision, whatever, like, stuck a sword in us, right? So I think we're, like, getting in a box and having, like, the sword trick done. You think?
Possibly.
The next The next trick is called the Devil's Curse. This ball will fly through the air, and once it finds a demon, it will light up and attack it. Oh no.
I wonder who it's gonna find.
Oh, I wonder. Wait, demons and devils are different things, Andrew. Don't you play D&D?
No.
The ball he was holding began to float. The audience gasped. It zigzagged through the hall, approaching every table. Oh, this is like that, the snitch in Harry Potter. Eventually, it reached David's table, stopping on top of Alan. The ball emitted an intense light, like a camera flash. Son of a... Is he calling me a demon? In a fit of anger, Alan slapped the ball away.
You're supposed to grab it, dumbass. See you win the game.
Quidditch, yeah. The ball fell to the floor, rolling noisily. Are you sober now, sir? The demon thing was but a joke. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our good-humored friend. Crost approached the table to pick up the ball. He said something in German and then returned to the stage.
Alright.
Next, I would like to show you what I call super magic. However, nothing will happen if my third eye remains closed, in which case I beg your pardon beforehand. My assistant is sitting on the floor. If my third eye opens, I will make her levitate and float around the hall. Please be quiet for a moment as we merge our minds. Cross closed his eyes. Can we leave soon, Susanna? I'm not sure why, but I feel a pain in my chest when I look at him.
Wow.
He's definitely a great artist, but I admit he's not my type of man. Okay.
He was going in that direction, Susanna, but okay.
Hey, let's just leave. He's just flaunting his supposed superpowers. This isn't fun at all. This wasn't very entertaining, but I'd still like to see his third eye open. Since Cross hates photos, there's not one picture of his third eye in books.
I'm also not feeling that great, but I agree with Martin. Let's take a look at that third eye of his before leaving.
Oh, you know, since we're here.
Yeah, then we'll peace. Whatever.
Oh shit. Still under the spotlight, something was changing across his forehead. The scar was changing, transforming into an eye. David felt increasingly frustrated as he stared into Cross's third eye. The third eye blinked, if only slightly. Once, twice. After blinking 3 times, the third eye was faintly visible. Then, blood began to flow from Cross's third eye. Blood kept flowing unceasingly. Cross was rolling around in his own blood, writhing in pain.
This is great. You're like up and clapping. Yay! Oh, amazing.
The spotlight was turned off and Cross was carried outside by several men. The audience murmured uneasily, wondering what exactly had just happened. The hotel manager came up on the stage holding a microphone. Unfortunately, as Cross failed to open his third eye, he won't be able to continue the show. As such, we must bring an end to tonight's charity show. As the manager frantically apologized, the guests left the venue one by one.
Damn it, why is it always happening when I try to open my third eye? Gosh.
It sounds like this has happened before. The car Clark and Vince were driving stopped in front of the Hotel Bristol. Looks like we missed their plans to check out their charity show.
Cross magic show, huh? Yeah, Susanna's probably just playing around. We can wait for them here.
Is Morgan Frost famous or something? I can't say I've ever heard of the guy.
Didn't know about him either, but I asked around. He's somewhat known here in Germany. A magician with a third eye.
Look, Chief, there's a crowd forming at the entrance. They're all well dressed, so I'm guessing they're guests from the charity show. Did something happen? Without replying, Clark got out of the car and entered the hotel. He returned a few moments later.
Seems that Cross failed to open his third eye and release his psychic powers, whatever that means. They had to cancel the show. Susanna and the boys should be out soon, so keep your eyes open. Yeah, I don't want you to be able to have your eyes open, I guess.
Does he actually have a third eye in his forehead? Man, that's gotta suck. Thank God I'm not a psychic.
Start the engine, Vince. They're getting into their taxis.
The band got into 2 taxis and left. Clark and Vince tailed them. The taxi stopped in front of Hotel Berlin. They got off and went inside. After regrouping in the meeting room, they started talking about Cross. Ha! Serves him right!
That sure was a lot of blood. At first I thought it was a part of the performance.
Losing that much blood's bound to kill you. Not that I'd mind.
Wow.
Dude. Even if he survives, he probably won't be able to open his third eye again. Losing that much blood would scar you for life. But I guess we actually saw something amazing.
Maybe we're ESPers too. You know, the way we make people lose their minds by listening to our music. So much that they could even get hurt if we're not careful.
Maybe you are. I mean, you're doing something that's impossible for others. In that sense, there's many experts in the world.
David. You look pale. It was all that blood, wasn't it? I remember witnessing a car accident when I was a kid. There was a lot of blood. Couldn't eat for days.
I don't know. I guess watching Cross suffer in a pool of his own blood left a bad impression on me. Yeah, reasonable. Maybe you should go to bed if you're not feeling well. Don't forget, you have your last European concert tomorrow. You have to take care of yourself. Oh man, we're planting a big flag here.
Big finale.
Can anyone hand me a beer? I'll feel better after a drink. Man, we're at the end of our tour, huh? We're almost back in London. After various empty beer cans were piled up on the table, the band members returned to their rooms. As David approached his bed, he felt a hint of dizziness. I was feeling good the entire day, but everything went downhill after I saw Cross's blood. Just as he was starting to feel anxious about the next day's concert, there was a knock at the door. It was Susanna calling for him. David didn't have the keys with him, so Susanna opened the door herself and walked in. I figured you'd be tired, so I brought you your favorite pills!
Yay! Pills!
I admit, I've been feeling tired after a show. Thanks, I'll take them. David took the pills.
Loves his Flintstones vitamins.
Tomorrow will be the last concert in Germany. Hang in there, David. You know, I've been wondering, is it possible that Cross is a descendant of Fenrir, the old man from the vision I saw? He had a scar on his forehead. It could just be a coincidence. When the blood started flowing from his forehead, that made me think. At that moment, I was mad at him for the way he made fun of Alan. I glared at that third eye of his in anger. The divisions are true, and the blood of King Hroth does flow in my veins. Maybe I'm the reason he started losing blood. What the fuck?
Oh yeah.
Did you feel like you were using some special powers like King Hroth did?
We have a guest.
Oh, hello?
I am the king, whatever.
Okay.
Most of the king.
No, I didn't actually feel anything special. Maybe I'm just overthinking this. You probably are. Anyway, I'd like you better as a musician than as an Esper.
They just got friends, huh?
Me too. I'm not gonna turn into King Hroth or something. Still, I feel like there's something I'm not seeing, and it's driving me a little crazy. I haven't had any nightmares since coming to Germany. Maybe it's because I've been dreading them so much. I feel like I could have nightmares tonight. They always come when I'm feeling tired in this weird way. Susanna, won't you stay with me until morning? Oh, David, you're acting like a scared child. I'm not your mother, you know. Susanna smiled teasingly at David as she started undressing. Press any key to start reading data from the CD-ROM. Sweet. I need to get more drink. I will be back. I'll let this load in the meantime. We are back. Jihun, I have a request for you, since you're here.
Okay.
How about you be like every sorcerer, druid, shaman, wizard, like any random person we meet like that from here on.
Okay.
So that's okay, awesome.
Happy time.
I'll try. Hopefully it doesn't affect my migraine.
Oh, you have a mic? I was gonna ask if you actually have a headache. I saw that screenshot. I was like, uh-oh.
I was like, yeah, that's the funny thing. So the computer that I was changing into the location was some kind of headache clinic or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, what a perfect place. I'm actually having a migraine here. I wonder if it's a curse.
Well, at least...
Curse from the Devil King himself.
Respectfully, at least you know how... At least you know all the sex tips for when you have a migraine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a funny
Better to
email.
be informed than not.
Any viewers to this are going to be like, what the hell? But yeah, that was a funny image he shared. Okay. Here we go. The next morning, David was drinking coffee in the lobby. Alan joined him in the lobby shortly after. And would you look at that? David up early in the morning having coffee. You don't see that every day. Were you too nervous about our last concert in Europe to sleep? Not really. I actually got a good night's rest, so much I just woke up early. You think Props is dead? Don't know. Haven't read the English newspaper yet. Let's take a look. Alan picked up the newspaper from the table. Well, I don't see anything about... Oh wait, here it is. It's in a small print in the corner. It just says they stopped the blood loss and he survived. What do you know? He's alive. Considering how much he was bleeding, that's actually impressive. Modern medicine can even transplant hearts nowadays. Bleeding from your forehead is nothing in comparison. While David and Alan were talking about Cross, they were joined by Andrew and Susanna. Oh, you're reading the newspaper? I heard something interesting about Cross. The prompter told me that his third eye is actually artificial. He had that surgically implanted into his forehead. So he might not actually be the... Oh wait, no, he probably still has the scar, right? Seriously? An artificial eye? They say his psychic powers are the real deal, but he underwent plastic surgery to hide that scar and make himself look more like an Esper. Okay, so he always had that scar.
What's the point? He already had psychic powers. Man, what a moron.
At that moment, Martin entered the lobby. Hey, good morning. You're already up, huh? This has to be the first time I got up later than David. Okay, so after tonight's concert, we'll be back in London tomorrow at noon. Andrew, make sure you leave the hotel by 4 p.m. and head straight for the venue. Susanna left the hotel to meet up with the promoter, which I guess is heavy air quotes around it. Clark and Vince were in Tiergarten Park. Sitting on a bench in front of them were Susanna and Gockel. How's that directional microphone, Chief?
Shush. There's too much noise as it is. I'm having a hard time listening in. What about your directional mic?
Oh yeah, I have it here. Vince hurriedly took out a Walkman-sized device from his pocket. He pointed at Susanna. Chief, you have to point it towards him or you won't hear a thing. That's why they call it a directional microphone.
I know that. I'm just testing it out. Come on. You have to get somewhere in front of them without them noticing.
Clark and Vince moved in front of Susanna while keeping out of her sight. Then, they began to eavesdrop on her conversation.
This is a good spot. Here's hoping they won't move.
Clark and Vince press their hands on their headphones with a serious look in their faces. Oh. And yet, it is because of him that we could find that man. Even if medical science saved him, the Devil King will not forgive him. And, Jihun, I know you don't know it yet, but Gakko's totally one of those guys. You ready?
It's the picture. Okay, not the image I was expecting. Alright. But you'll be returning to London tomorrow. Who will end his life then?
If nothing happens before then, I'll get in touch with you from London. The ring has been returned to its rightful owner, and is already displaying its power. I'm certain we will find the King of the North soon.
Once the Devil King is revived, my wish will be fulfilled. I look forward to that day.
The only way to bring him back is to sever the blood of the betrayer while that star is the closest to the earth. Only then will we be able to enact our revenge upon the King of the North. Is that star the Star of Darkness?
In his modern era of science and technology, nobody would ever believe such a tale.
Even if the common folk don't believe it, there are still descendants of the people of the North who have inherited the blood of sorcerers. They may come for us. Watch your back. I probably won't be able to come back to Germany for a while. You have to wait for the good news. Let's meet again if you're ever in London.
I know we talk about this, but sometimes it's stupid how you have to choose between two characters to speak, but sometimes the game does it itself.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Susanna stood up from the bench and left the park. Clark and Vince went after her, as Gakko watched the pair with suspicion.
Ooh.
And so, Lenovision was ready to begin their last concert in Europe. The band was giving it their best during the performance, and once again the audience was reaching the peak of their excitement. Halfway through the song, David called out to the audience, who shouted back in response. Even though David was speaking English to a German crowd, it seemed as if there was no language barrier between them. We're all allies. We're all in the same clan. Yeah, we're allies. The entire audience stood up. Between the German language and the furious atmosphere. No. We're skipping past that.
Whoa.
Oh, damn. Where did that come from?
Kill the traitor!
Whoa. David.
Yeah! Kill the traitor! Sever the blood of the betrayer! Kill!
This is what it's like to listen to Japanese song when I don't know lyrics.
The eyes of the audience were bloodshot. They were screaming as if their throats were being crushed. The traitor is finally dead. As soon as David's proclamation ended, Alan pressed his hands on the keyboard. The audience let out a yell, and the performance began anew. On the stage, David seemed to grow larger, though the audience was reaching the peak of their excitement. There were no disturbances. A number of women fainted, but they were carried away by the staff without incident. While Martin was playing his guitar solo, David approached Andrew. Let's skip the ballad. The crowd's excited, but it's all under control. I say we keep the ball rolling and call it a success.
So weird. We're so excited, but they're all moving in rhythm. Well, sounds good to me. Let's see how far we can go.
What are you doing, guys? I'm waiting for... we're skipping the ballad. Fine by me, come on. Martin also seemed to understand. He plucked the strings of his guitar rhythmically, waiting for the song to start. David shouted to the crowd. This is the end of our tour to Europe. We're going to keep singing until I drop. Yeah! The band kept playing in a frenzy. By the end of it, David could barely let his voice out. The audience was so excited they were literally ripping their shirts off.
Hulking out.
Then, as he promised, David finally collapsed on the stage. There was not a single person in the venue who had the energy to stand. Even the members of the staff were leaning against the wall. They were all in a daze beyond the point of satisfaction. What, they all jizz in their pants? Though the concert was over, the staff did not even have the energy to turn off the lights or lower the curtains. David, Alan, Andrew, and Martin themselves were in a daze on top of the stage.
You okay, David?
Yeah, I can barely move, but I've never felt better.
Never felt like this before. I think I'm going to cry.
Andrew, why didn't the crowd go wild this time?
Don't ask me. I can't even think right now. Let's just say it all went well and leave it at that.
David, what was that thing about a traitor and the blood of the betrayer? Huh? Did I actually say that? Now that you mention it, I started feeling a sense of unity after you said that weird stuff. Right then, the lights were turned off and the curtains were closing. There was a round of applause as the curtains fell. However, the audience had no more energy left, so it felt like the quiet end to a classical concert. Way to go, David! I'm glad it's over, honestly. My knees are trembling so much I can barely walk. Yeah, definitely. Everybody in this arena just, like, came. That's how they were describing it. The spotlights focused on the band as they walked out. There was no commotion. After a brief interview, they all got into their cars and left the venue. Back at the hotel, David and the others headed back for their rooms, not having the energy to celebrate. David fell asleep the moment he crawled into his bed without even having the time to think. Huh. The next day, the airport was filled with Union Jack flags, which were waved until Alinovision's plane was no longer visible. The plane arrived at the Heathrow Airport in London. Once they were done with the customs, David and his friends witnessed something they never would have thought it possible before they left for their first tour. Inside their waiting room were countless TV cameras and journalists ready to interview them. Once they finally stepped out of the waiting room, a deafening cheer broke out. Their path was filled with young people holding Alinovision banners and magazines with the band on the cover. The band barely had the space to even wave at their fans. Before long, they were surrounded by the police, who escorted them to their car. A police car opened the way as they headed towards the Hilton Hotel. However, rather than relaxing in the lobby, Susanna led them inside the elevator and into their room. Susanna spoke. I was told about it, but I definitely underestimated your popularity. It's like a dream come true. I think of it as the price of fame. I like to go to Marquee, but I don't want to bother the owner. The Marquee Club was the music venue where Alinovision made their debut. While it did not have any seats, it had a bar and could house around 400 guests. The band would still go there to relax from time to time. Andrew spoke.
Same here. It should be fine if we sneak there, though. I say we all go together at closing hours. I was going to be the first to report back to you when I got home, but if we sneak there won't be a ruckus. Let's all go together just before closing time. You can tell how far of a delay you have just from that.
I'm actually, I accidentally pressed the button early. So, I was trying to anticipate how early I needed to be, but apparently I was still off. I won't be joining you guys. Before you go, keep this in mind. You're not the same people you were before the tour. Be careful out there, alright? Right then, someone knocked on the door. It was Richard, the president of the record label. Hey, I remember this guy.
The first episode.
Yeah. Good work, boys. The Linovision CDs are selling faster than we can print them. And we have a pile of requests for your appearances. I don't remember what sleep is anymore.
You can deal with the CD situation however you like, but don't go crazy with those requests. You promised us a 2-week vacation after the tour.
I know. You'll have your vacation, but be prepared for schedule hell when you're back. Hey, send my paycheck to the bank up front, boss. No point in a vacation without money to spend. Way ahead of you. It's not all of it, but you can muck about for an entire year with it. A year worth of money, but we only get a couple weeks off. Welcome to life. Of course, Susanna's got a bonus check, too. I'll look at the time. Let's go, Susanna. We have a meeting. Richard and Susanna left the room. Meanwhile, back at their detective agency, Clark was using a typewriter while conversing with Vince. You have to hand in that report tomorrow, right? We're finally back in London, and you're already pulling an all-nighter.
Yup. Got a call as soon as I stepped inside. I need everything you found out in Europe, and it has to be ready by tomorrow at noon.
But after that, the job's done, right? I sure hope the pay's good.
Still, who the heck is Susanna really? After all that work, we only have this slipshod report.
Come to think of it, Alinovision's last concert was something else. First time I go to a concert where the singer starts yelling, "Kill!" like that. Wouldn't be my first time.
Speaking of kill, I called a friend in Germany once we came back here. That magician Crossed, he died that night. He started bleeding from his forehead again.
Huh, well his death couldn't be related to Susanna, could it? You gonna put that in a report too?
Client wants me to report anything that catches my attention, even if it doesn't strictly involve Susanna.
The two detectives continued to work over a cup of tea.
I imagine someone drinking a cup of tea. I presume their pinky's out.
At around 10 p.m., David and his friends headed for the Marquee Club. We wanted you to be the first to hear about our success. We owe you a lot. We probably wouldn't be where we are if not for you. Well, I'm glad to hear that. How about we move to the counter? It's still small and cramped as usual, but we can push some customers away. The owner asked some customers to move away and lined up some chairs in the dressing room at the counter. Boys, serve us some scotch. No, not that one. Our finest scotch. It's my treat, friends. Bottoms up. It's been a while since we've been here. Jimmy's performing tonight, huh? Guess he's your main performer now. Yeah, I remember when we used to be the main performers here. The pay was so low we'd spend most of it on the ride back home. Hey, amateurs should be grateful to even get a chance to play. And as small as it is, getting paid makes you feel like a professional. Honestly, I'm a beacon of hope for all you whippersnappers. Before long, all the customers around the counter were staring at David.
So they paid them an exposure.
Yeah. Jimmy, on stage, knew that Alina-Vision was in the club, and that made him anxious. Once his performance was over, he took the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some special guests. Alina-Vision is here. The customers started murmuring, looking around for David and the band. How about you sing for us, David? Might be the last time Alina-Vision performs here. Please, they all want to hear you sing. The guests started clapping and clamoring for Alina-Vision to get on the stage. Jimmy, for Pete's sake, I'm sorry you came to this. Could I ask you to sing just one song to please the crowd?
Thanks with some more exposure. Well, you heard him. Are you up for it?
I say we owe him this much. Let's do it, David. That'll be like that time in Italy. Pretty tired. I hope I have the energy for it. Never thought our first live in London would be at Marquee. Oh, right. We're lucky David's tired. At his best, he'd bring down the whole building. The band went up on stage. Starting to lose it. Just trailing off. The clapping turned to cheers. That night, the lights of the Marquee Club stayed lit until morning. Stayed lit?
Get lit.
After fooling around the entire night at the Marquee Club, the band did not show up for their meeting the next day due to their hangover. David, are you still sleeping? David's voice could be heard faintly from inside his room. Finally, he opened the door. Oh my gosh, you reek of alcohol. Are you hungover? Yeah, I haven't been here in London in a long time, so I guess I overdid it a little. My head hurts, and let's not talk about my stomach. Nobody came to the meeting, so I'm guessing they're also hungover. Susanna entered the room and opened the window to change the air. The president wants to invite us all to dinner. You think you'll be able to go in your condition? I'll be fine. As you can imagine, I skipped dinner and I'm not having lunch. I should have an appetite by the evening. Remember, you have a concert at the Wembley Arena tomorrow, so don't go out after dinner. God, this game just keeps going. Don't worry, I'm not looking forward to another hangover. I'll go straight back to the hotel after dinner. Alright, I'm gonna have a shower now. If this were in a hotel, I'd ask you to stay for coffee. How about we take a trip to the countryside after the concert? Just the two of us. I know a nice place. Just you and me? I think this might be my best vacation ever. Forgetting his hangover, David kissed Susanna goodbye and entered the bathroom. The sun went down and the neon lights of London's business district turned on. Richard invited David and his friends to have dinner at a Chinese restaurant called Mr. Chow. Among the lavish furniture of the store, Clark and Vince were also eating. I've been in London for a long time, and this is the first time I've come here. Nice of our client to pay in advance.
The report must have been real good, because our contract has been extended.
I'm sure you're happy about it, Chief. You're definitely grinning a lot when you read the check.
Anyway, I brought the wiretap, but I don't think we can place it anywhere in this fancy restaurant. Well, they're not going to talk about anything important anyway. Their president just invited them for dinner.
By the way, Chief, who's the client anyway? At this point, I'd rather know about them than Susanna.
I'll be honest, I have no idea. The contract says that if we were to look into it, we'd have to pay them back double the investigation fee. I work for money, you know.
The client mentioned they wanted to know more about this Devil King business. Think they were serious?
Thought they wanted to slip into the fortune teller, but they said they wanted to know more about the relationship between Susanna and this Devil King. It's possible it's some kind of alias.
There's no way we can find someone just by their nickname. I guess we'll have to stick to Susanna as usual. Clark occasionally glanced at David's table while Vince emptied plate after plate, enjoying the fine cuisine. As they were told not to go out during the night, after finishing their meal, the members of Alina Vision returned to their hotel. Too tired from the previous night's escapade and a stomach full of Chinese delicacies, they quickly retreated to their rooms.
But no talk about how delicious and incredible those, food options were.
No.
It's like an isekai earlier, Jihun.
Yeah, we had an isekai Japanese food moment.
Oh.
It's the most amazing, incredible food in the world.
David turned off the lights and went to bed. He was feeling somewhat queasy and he couldn't fall asleep. So he should have went to a Japanese restaurant instead, then he wouldn't be queasy.
Gosh.
Damn.
The faint light coming from the window made the white ceiling stand out. David held his hand towards the ceiling and stared at the silhouette. Then he noticed an aura waver around his hand. The aura persisted even after he lowered his hand. It trembled and swayed, turning into a white dot, and then the vision started.
Neat that he's reached the point where he just makes it happen now, I guess.
King Hroth, who looked like David, was roaming a wasteland with a large number of people. Everyone, including the king, was weary and dirty. My liege, we can't rely on the other countries. No one would welcome us out of fear and retribution from the king of the north. The other kings were supposed to be our allies, yet they point their spears at our starving people, drive us away. How could this be? They were allies only when it was convenient for them. We must leave their domain and find a new land to call our own. Even if such a land existed, it would be impossible for me to lead our people there. I've always followed God's command, and I even used the forbidden arts to help everyone. But he cast me off to hell, alongside my subjects. He chose the king of the north, forsaking us. He left me no choice. I must become the Devil King, and use the forbidden arts to fight God.
Full-on JRPG mode. Let's go.
Attack and dethrone God. Susanna, I will become the Devil King and fight God. As long as my blood persists, I will resurrect as the Devil King and sever the blood of the northern tribes. I thus swear upon the Star of Darkness, hey, there it is, no matter how many centuries, how many millennia it takes, when the Star of Darkness shines once more, the Devil King shall rise from the blood and extract his vengeance upon the northern tribes. Susanna, be the eternal recipient of my blood.
But it's some line right there.
King Hroth swore revenge upon the Star of Darkness. Lord Hroth, your grudge will ever flow within my veins. As long as this planet exists, your bloodline will never be extinguished.
Was that the same Susanna, or was she also endlessly reincarnated?
Yeah, like maybe she's just like a millennia-old vampire in the body of a, music promoter.
Yep. Makes sense.
That was when David's lost focus and the vision vanished.
That's the first one we encountered.
There've been some other weird ones.
Oh, okay.
David was so enthralled by the. Remember the like he had his pajama on and stuff like that.
Oh, it's only one pajama, not two.
Yeah. David was so enthralled by this vision of Hroth that he had almost forgotten to breathe. He gripped his chest, gasping for air. In a hurry, he took out the medicine Susanna gave him, swallowing the pills without even a drop of water. No hydro honey this night.
Munching on his
All of his exhaustion flooded back at once. He felt himself fall into darkness, unsure as to whether he was falling asleep or dying. God, this game rules.
we were suspecting things might come to a close tonight, but I don't know now. I don't know how much longer this can go.
As I said earlier, this game just keeps going.
Like, I don't feel like we're reaching an end point.
Yeah, I thought for sure the game was almost over when we
wrapping up the concert stuff.
Yeah. When he woke up the next day, David was feeling great, as if he had never been tired the previous night. Ellen and Martin were working on the new song at their label studio, while Andrew was out with a friend. Whoa, you have friends, Andrew. Susanna came by to visit David.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're back in London, the people from the office are helping me out, so things are way easier. I had another dream last night. King Hroth was roaming a wasteland with his people after being chased away from a neighboring country. It must have been the fault of the King of the North. This is something that happens even now, where a stronger country will oppress a weaker one. King Hroth claimed that God had abandoned him in favor of the King of the North, so he made an oath upon the Star of Darkness that he would become the Devil King and sever the blood of the northern tribes.
Great.
What's his Star of Darkness? I had no idea. In my vision, King Hroth asked Susanna to inherit his blood, so one day he'd get revenge upon the King of the North, no matter how many years it would take. So this version of Susanna would carry on the legacy of King Hroth, who looks just like you. I'm sure she must have loved him. That's where my vision stopped. You know how I've been having nightmares? I feel like these visions have solved their mystery. If what I've seen are real events from the past, then I may have inherited the blood of King Hroth. But you're no Devil King, and there's no King of the North in our world. Even if King Hroth was one of your ancestors, it would be from countless generations ago. His power must be gone. Maybe you're right. I don't have powers that would make me a Devil King. Best I can do is have fancy dreams. Yeah, don't worry about it anymore. It might perfect tonight's concert. Speaking of which, it's getting late. I have to go. See you at the venue. After Susanna left, David tried to recall his nightmare, but he could only remember some vague fragments. As he was starting to develop a headache, he decided to stop thinking about it. Well, Jihun has an article for him to check out.
Seriously, this game is perfect for me today because Dave has a headache, I have a headache. I wonder. Headache. Coincidence? I think not.
Things in common to you.
David entered the lobby and had a cup of coffee to pass the time. Alina Vision was going to perform at the Royal Albert Hall. Those seats were already sold out for 2 days. Though there were no tickets for sale that day, there were a lot of fans gathered at the square. When the concert started, nobody left the square, listening to Alina Vision tapes with their earphones. They may have not been able to get a seat, but they still wanted to stay close to the stage and feel the heat of the band. Even without hearing the actual performance, they were all sharing the same purpose, silently receiving their energy. However, it was nothing like the tremendous excitement currently happening inside the concert hall. On top of the stage, David was singing with his usual energy. The crowd was shouting so loudly that the walls themselves were shaking. It felt as if the building itself could explode at any moment. David's energy excited the audience, and when the audience's excitement increased David's energy, they had already far surpassed most limits, and yet no accidents occurred. He's gone even further beyond.
This is
The critics
further beyond.
The critics are comment on the concert as such. Alina Vision fills the audience with both excitement and reason. What? Putting them in a state that could only be called orderly euphoria. What? It is no longer simply music, but something more. It is a religion. Oh my god. Next to Susanna, the President Richard started trembling with fear when he saw the frenzied crowd, but he was glad to see that his band was able to keep the situation under control. When the concert was over, Richard welcomed David and the others with a sense of relief. As they returned to their dressing rooms, Richard couldn't help but praise them enthusiastically. You've been away for only a short period, but you've improved so much, David. Same goes for the rest of you. You were amazing. Seriously, what happened?
I'd say it's all thanks to our fans overseas. They were so enthusiastic about us that we had to improve to match their expectations. We had to become one with the audience.
I've been seeing the way they get agitated, but somehow you're able to use music to keep them under control. In all my years in this business, I've never seen anything like it. Come to think of it, there sure is a lot of people outside the venue. Are you sure you've got enough security? I'm doubling security for your next concert. Don't worry, we'll drive them away so they won't bother you. No, don't have them driven away. I feel like that's going to make the situation worse. Nothing happened tonight, so let's just ignore them. I think we should have our next concert at the same place for an entire week, so that everyone can listen to it. Plus, that'll make more money for you. That was actually my plan, but I couldn't make the reservation this time. At that moment, Susanna came in. Rather than focus on making money, we should consider making a world tour. Anyway, time to leave. There's a car waiting in the back.
World tour.
And this starts sounding like we're going on a world tour. I'm gonna scream.
Hell yeah. So many places to visit.
Leaving from the back of the venue, the band took a car and returned to their hotel. After celebrating with a round of beers, they went back to their rooms to recover from the concert. Hey, me and Susanna are supposed to go out tonight. Come on. Come on. How old is this? This is from 1990. It is for the PC88. It's a Japanese-only game. It was translated this year by a group called Nebulous Translations. The next day, David and the others were inside their label studio, putting the final touches on the new song. The newspapers reported that they would introduce their song at the latest concert the following day, so they were all practicing in earnest. Susanna left the hotel to make preparations for the closing party. However, she was currently strolling like a tourist by the Thames under the watchful eye of the Tower of London. As well as those of Clark and Vince, who were walking a short distance away. I think Susanna's waiting for someone.
No shit. Why else would you come all the way here? Get a bit of a dude.
Whoever they are, they're not here yet. Did the other party? Or, I'm sorry, that's you.
Did the other party get the wrong time? It's been almost 1 hour.
Right then, Clark's pager rang. The 90s!
I gotta find a phone. The client just sent me some weird stuff. Sometimes I feel like I'm a dog on their leash.
Remember pagers?
Yes.
I'll go make this call. Stay here and keep an eye on her. If anything happens, call me on the walkie-talkie.
Oh god, walkie-talkie too.
Clark left, running towards the sightseeing ship terminal. After a while, he returned.
Well, where's Susanna's mysterious date?
What did the client tell? Hold on, Susanna's walking to the taxi cab stand. I'll get the car. But yeah, Teeks, if you notice next to me here, I actually put like the read and write lights for the floppy disks and the CD. So the emulator I'm using provides that, so I was like, why not? It's a cool little thing to add. I don't know. It's funny. The game's on a CD and 2 floppy disks. And I'm not too certain what like the interplay is between them, like what's on the floppy versus the compact. But as Vince came back with the car and Clark jumped in, Susanna's cab started moving. Parking our car in the taxi parking lot was the right call.
Go with these taxis. Looks like the cab's going back to the hotel. Did you really just go out for a walk? This is modern day, everyone would be taking Ubers.
Oh man. Are we just telling people that we're boomers?
I like the part where he receives a message on his payphone, and he has, or I'm sorry, he, on his pager, he has to go and use a payphone, and then he instructs his partner to get on a walkie-talkie if anything happens.
Yep.
That was just like, just hit a 90s right in the veins. Myst. I have played Myst. I don't think these gentlemen have.
No.
It is something I want to stream. And yeah, I love the Myst speedrun where it's like, they basically see how many frames they can beat the game in. It's a lot of fun.
There she goes. Stakeout ends here today. Let's go back to the office.
Yeah, one day I want to stream Myst and Ribbon, and I also have Abduction, which is made by the same people, but got like 30 years later. So, like to get there sometime, but no current plans. This is about that phone call, right? What did they tell you?
They want me to look into that ring David's wearing. I want to look through all the photos we took of him in Europe. Maybe we can figure something out.
So David's part of the big Susanna mystery. What?
Yeah, you've been tailing him, dude. That's what we're going to find out.
Clark and Vince quickly returned to their detective agency. Back at the office, they gathered every picture of David they took, examining the ring through a magnifying glass. The client must have noticed the ring during the broadcast of last night's concert on TV. I wish they told us what they knew about it, though.
Ring's a mystery. The Devil King's a mystery. Whatever they want to know about Susanna's a mystery. I feel like we're getting involved in something nasty.
I've been mainly taking photos of David's face. I'm not sure we have any close-ups of his hand.
I think I got it. The ring he wore during the concert in Germany is not the same he was wearing in France and Italy.
Hey, you're right. This one has some kind of coat of arms on it. The one he was wearing before had an angular design. The photos from last night's concert haven't been developed yet.
And get to it, and have them enlarge the photos that show the ring. Give them a nice tip to make them hurry.
Yeah.
Enhance.
Whoa, instant transmission! Vince took the film out of the camera and left the room. Clark took his copy of the report as he sent his client and read it again, taking notes as he went. Then he put a tape in his recorder and started listening intently. After a while, Clark was brewing tea, smiling as he hummed David's song. He's a closet fan. 2 hours later, Vince came back.
Good work. I made tea. Why don't you have a cup?
You made the tea, Chief? That's a new one. I noticed you smiling. Did you figure something out?
Mystery of the Ring is definitely related to David. Remember that conversation between Susanna and Gockel we intercepted in Hamlin?
Yeah, it was that time I had to eat fish. I hate fish. I never forget that.
That time, Gockel gave Susanna something. While we couldn't see it, I'm convinced it was the ring David's wearing now. They were also talking about the Devil King and the blood of the betrayer. I've listened to the tape again, and my gut tells me the Devil King they talked about is David.
Dun dun dun.
Of course, they never say that outright, but I think I'm onto something.
Well, I definitely never heard of anyone refer to David with that kind of nickname. Let's say you're right. What would it mean?
It means we send these photos and the tape to the client. Maybe this will lead us to something. Considering the money they're willing to shell, this case must be bigger than it seems.
Clark was talking to Vince as if he expected something to happen. The following day, President Richard gathered the band in the hotel's meeting room to discuss their future plans. Alright, so here's the thing. We received a flood of pre-orders for your next song, even though we haven't announced the release yet. You wouldn't think it was mentioned in the newspaper only yesterday. At any rate, we must figure something out for the recording. Andrew spoke.
How about we record tonight's live? We'll just have to cut the part with the new song and bam! Live version.
A live version would definitely be quick to release, though I don't think it would convey the right feeling of the song. What do you think, Martin? Well, it's already all over the press. There's no time for a studio recording. I say we go for the live version and record a studio version once the holidays are over. Yeah, I like that. I've always wanted to record multiple versions of it anyway. Starting with the live version is definitely unique. Releasing a live version first, it could work, considering how good David is now. Okay, that settles it. They'll have to give tonight's concert some extra oomph. I want Martin's new song to be memorable. Don't go overboard with the oomph, David. If the crowd gets too crazy, we won't be able to have a good recording. She's right, you know? I don't want it to be just a bonus track because there's too many screams to be serviceable. You can stay at the hotel after the concert. All expenses are already covered.
Go back to my room and figure out how I can spend my holiday. See you tomorrow night.
Each member of the band were renting rooms in different apartments in the city. They decided to leave the hotel the following day and return to their own homes. You live in London, so you should be fine, but what about your holidays, Susanna? I was thinking of leaving the city and relaxing in the countryside for a while. Sounds good. Meanwhile, I won't be able to rest at all thanks to you guys. In fact, I better get going. See you tonight. President Richard and Susanna left. David and the others decided to go to the lobby for a cup of coffee. The sun was setting. The last concert of the European tour would be held at the Royal Albert Hall. How many last concerts of the European tour have there been? Outside, the venue was surrounded by a record number of fans. Inside the hall, the crowd's cheers turned into screams, more and more with each song. Once again, it was a frenzy. David held out his hand to the audience to calm it down. This is what you've all been waiting for. Our newest song, written by Martin during our tour of Europe, Prayers. The crowd erupted in cheers. Andrew started clapping. I almost said clapping slowly. And the intro of the song began to play. It was a calm, quiet flow. That would have been so bad for a moment, as if the venue had been submerged underwater. No.
Everyone's coming again.
Martin Sampler played some light drums, which merged with Alan's ambient synth, echoing throughout the hall. God. David took the microphone, let the rhythm enter his body. The audience started clapping slowly, following the beat set by Andrew. Once Alan backed them with the piano, the audience went wild. David started singing with every ounce of energy he had in his body. The band was surprised at how well their song was being received, pleased that they were being appreciated even with such a different image. The crowd, or rather everyone in the venue, started dancing, as in a frenzy. Once David finished singing, the audience went silent. Not a single clap could be heard. It's over. As if they had been released from some sort of hypnosis, they started clapping and cheering. What the fuck? Martin was delighted, waving his hands to the crowd. After giving their encore, the curtains lowered on Lena Vision's tour of Europe. Once the frenzy had passed, the staff thought it was a miracle that no incidents had happened, some even making the sign of the cross on their chest. After the concert, the band had gotten ready for the closing party that President Richard had been preparing. It was usually a small, intimate event, but not this time. David and the others returned to the hotel, changed their clothes, and entered the party hall on the third floor. They were greeted by politicians, businessmen, and members of the press. President Richard told them that he had a hard time narrowing down the guests. Once the party was in full swing, the front desk clerk approached David with a sealed letter. He opened the envelope and read its contents. I have precise information about the Devil King. Come to Cafe Alice between Westminster Bridge and Westminster Abbey. Tomorrow at noon, alone. Don't tell anyone. David read the letter over and over. He felt the blood drain from his face. How could anyone else know about the Devil King? About his nightmares? The party ended after 2 a.m. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and, put this out into existence here. Next time we load data from the CD-ROM, I'm done for the night. Assuming the game doesn't end. I guess we're getting another week out of this.
Yeah, we were at the 3-hour mark.
Yeah. The party ended after 2 a.m. Still time for the concert. The band returned to their personal rooms. With the protagonist gone. Really? The guests began to leave as well.
called it.
Fucking
Yeah,
believable.
Yeah, a couple times tonight.
Okay, we'll let the data read, and then I'm going to save state. Yeah.
Dump out. Alright. I still have no idea where things are going, and I have no idea how much longer we have.
I was worried tonight that we would only play for like an hour and then it would be over. And it's like, oh, cool stream, bye. You know? God. Yeah, I have no idea if we have like another half an hour or like another month of streams from this. You know, like
We're gonna knock it out. Has anybody else played this game?
I don't know. I wasn't able to find like any footage or anything or like how long it beat. Like it has the game in there, but nobody's played it on it. We are trendsetters.
Hell yeah.
So are you guys having fun?
Yeah, this is enjoyable. Like I said, I've derived a lot of enjoyment out of this thus far.
Good. Yeah, I came into this with like no expectations other than like, oh, it'd be kind of cool to play like an old PC Engine game, but you know, this is whew. Perfect. Okay. To Teeks and anyone else who may be watching, thank you for watching. I believe we are also doing Metroid Dread as a bonus stream. You said Thursday?
Yeah, I'll try for Thursday. I'm finishing up my maps.
Okay. On Friday, we are playing more Silent Hill 2. On Sunday, I have D&D. We'll probably pick this up next Tuesday or whenever. So drop us a follow if you want to see that. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. The link is down there. But yeah, till next time, we'll see you in hell.
Hey ya!
Bye bye.